other members of the band probably would have. I mean, maybe I'm telling too much, and there's maybe a journalist noting all this down.
What about inroads into Europe and America? I mean, did that really? Was there much of that for Virus, or was it predominantly?
It would have been. It would have happened. It would have happened big, but because of differences that happened in the band, and the way Virus finished was really abrupt, and it was uncalled for, and I resented it for many years because I had so much more to give.
Right.
And I know for a fact we could have got better and better and better, and been one of Britain's biggest thrash bands.
Okay, well we can't avoid talking about the Christmas show.
Yep.
Which there was a big thrash bill, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Who else was on that bill?
Laz Rocket, Overkill. Voivod was supposed to be there, but I think they couldn't get the visas to get in the country. The Cro-Mags, Nuclear Assault, and us, I think it was.
Did you go on first?
Yeah, we were on first.
And it kind of went wrong. You didn't get a sound check.
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, only Megadeth had got a sound check.
Yeah, Megadeth did a 2-hour sound check.
Right.
Which was normal for Megadeth.
Right.
I actually met Megadeth in the bar of the Holiday Inn, which was just right next door to Leeds Queen's Hall, and they were such a really nice bunch of guys. Dave Elvinson especially was such a really nice bloke to get to know, the bass player of Megadeth at the time. And
widely regarded. I mean, every time I've ever met him, he's been a really, really nice guy.
He's fantastic. And Jeff Young as well, who was the guitarist at the time, he was a fantastic bloke as well. And we all sat in the I suppose like the bar area, the lounge area, sitting there, and like they were talking, and they handed us So Far So Good So What, just in tape version, wasn't even out yet.
Right.
And they said, have a listen to that, that's our new album, guys. And
tapes, by the way, listeners, are something that you used to get, that you could use before CD players in cars. There used to be cassette players in cars. And the old way of promoting an album, which would come out on vinyl back then, was it would come out on a pre-recorded cassette. These days you get a CDR and then you get your finished copy CD. But anyway, it's a precursor to what you get today.
And then they invented
and for you, Dave, obviously, because you're far too young to know what it
and then after that they invented the electric light bulb. That's how long ago it was.
It didn't go well for you, did it?
No, it went terrible.
The press really hammered you on that one, didn't they?
Yeah, they totally picked up on it and just basically tried to kill us.
Now, we talked earlier about the fact that Virus did court controversy, and it worked to get you to a certain position.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, did it not also turn around and bite you on the arse?
Yeah, it did, because people got sick of it really, really quickly.
Right.
And
did you feel that within the band?
There was a lot of tension in the band at the time.
Was there a kind of like, did it kind of develop a kind of siege mentality within the band, a kind of us versus them approach, do you think?
No, I think it went the other way.
Oh, right, okay.
I think a lot of egos got hit.
Right.
A lot of egos in the band got hit. I mean, because
and that kind of left you not quite knowing which way to step. Because I mean, obviously, as you said, you played one final show after that, didn't you? And then Henry quit.
Yeah.
Well, split the band up.
Well, he split the band up. He split the band up by phone, which was a coward's way out, I thought.
Right.
And I really wanted to see him, but then if I'd seen him, I think I'd probably stuck the head on him.
Right.
But at that time, but it's in the past. It's all in the past. You know, I don't hold anything against him now. I've no resentment towards Henry at all anymore, and we've actually become good friends again.
And he's given.
Well, he's given my blessing to carry on with Virus, which is tremendous.
Great stuff. Right, we've got Coke, who's just been talking, and Dave from Virus, the reformed Virus. That's kind of brought us up to speed, really, with where Virus got to. We're going to play a couple of tunes chosen by the guys. We'll come back after these, and we'll chat about who Virus are today and what they're up to. This is Coke's choice, Suicidal Tendencies. Join the army. Anthrax with John Bush and their version of Madhouse, choice of Dave from Virus, who's with us in the studio. Before that, it was Join the Army, Suicidal Tendencies, choice of Coke from Virus, who's with us in the studio. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us.
No worries.
Right, we've kind of brought everyone up to speed with what happened with Virus before they kind of fell apart. There was a very, very short-lived and failed reunion in America that really never happened. And then Coke reformed the band.
Yep.
Why?
Well, I was doing a gig with my old band Splatterhead in Aberdeen, a place called the Moorings in Aberdeen, and this guy came out of the audience. He was in a wheelchair. This guy's name's Dave Death, and I want to say a big hello to Dave out there. He's one of Virus's #1 fans, so if you're listening, Dave,
hope he is.
Slange you, mate. And I met him there, and he had an accident many years ago and left him in a wheelchair, and he came up to me when I was playing with a Splatterhead, and he says, I'm such a huge fan of Virus, and I said, I've got to do it again. I've just got to do it. And maybe as well as because everybody else was sort of doing it again, and the thrash thing was coming round. There was obviously elements of that.
I mean, I was going to say, in the last 2 years, we've seen a huge resurgence of thrash in the kind of pure terms, because people will still talk about and mention like Anthrax and Megadeth and Death Angel, even and Testament and all these as thrash bands. They're not. They're just heavy metal bands these days.
Yeah.
But the only true band that held to their roots are Slayer, who didn't deviate. We're talking about thrash in the terms of what we were talking about when the gigs that that Virus played with Death Angel, with Creator, with Celtic Frost, that sort of thing. And a lot of these bands, SSS, Evile, Gamma Bomb, as you mentioned, Municipal Waste, have all come through. Another one. How much of an influence did that have? Do you think? Hang on a minute, there's something going on here.
Yeah, I think it did. I thought, well, I've heard that before somewhere. Where did they steal that riff from? Let me think. It brought it all back.
Right.
It brought it all back, and I thought, Christ, there's guys that are doing it. And a guy in Dundee, where I'm from Dundee, and I was living in Dundee at the time, doing just in little pubs and clubs around there with my band. And one of my friends up there, he said, have a listen to this. He went, this is Municipal Waste. I went, oh well, wait a minute, where have they nicked that from? He went, man, that's Virus. I went, it could be, possibly. And then I listened to it a bit more, and I thought
themselves in edible light, I think, for the press.
Yeah. We've got it down to a T. I mean, I dressed, looked at Municipal Waste, and I just laughed, and I thought, God, I wouldn't be seen dead dressed.
I think it's just the fact that Municipal Waste got there before any other thrash bands did.
I think they got the recognition in the press. I think it's they got pushed to the fore just because the press were kind of like a bit more aware of them. I mean, for you, right? What did you know about Virus before?
I knew absolutely nothing about Virus. I knew.
That's a great advert there, Coke. For you,
Thanks, mate.
No worries. But I'm only 18. I only got into the thrash. I only got into the thrash about a year or so ago, and basically I was in a progressive thrash band called Tiberium.
Yeah.
We're about to get signed in the middle of making an album, and